Okay. Did you enjoy your Gleben friend watching there? Is Novus out of oil yet? I don't believe so. I think we should be okay with it. Let's have a look. No, we got plenty of it. We're doing all right. We are doing fine on Novus. As for Gleba, though, time for us to very definitely get a stone mine up and running, which is going to mean running a line down here. I'm not exactly sure where we're going to have the loading station, probably around there, which means we're going to want to bring, honestly, we could just, in fact, we could have the loading station right here and just run a line straight up and connect up here. Seems like a decent place to pop it. It's decent as anywhere else. Yeah, probably want to do something like that. It is going to necessitate moving this up by one, I think. Not exactly sure if it's going to be able to connect there or not. Do I have enough landfill? I hope I do. We'll find out. Right, we're heading off, chat. Yeah, I was kind of amazed when I spotted those together. None of them are particularly high concentration. They're only a couple of 100,000 each, but there's so many of them in one place that I suspect it's going to total quite an appreciable sum. We will eventually then build a stacker up here, probably just a stacker down in this direction, connecting up there. Just for offloading deposits. One thing I will say is that it doesn't seem that the Glebans are as aggressive about expanding as the Novicians? Novusians? What would be the correct term for a native of Novice? Chat? What would you go with? I don't think Novicians works. I think it would be Novusians. I definitely think it would be more along those lines. Novans, that could be it as well. Novans does have a bit of a ring to it, I will confess. Right, unfortunate, but not entirely unexpected. Right, let's get some signaling down. Oh, goodness. Let's make a couple more of those then. This one's going to have to be on both sides. Both heading... Oh, actually, only heading into the junction, realistically. And then heading this way, would just be a regular one. Same down here. Regular. And chain. There we go. Perfect. Gonna need a couple more of those then. Right. Now then, with that done, how are we gonna move this? I'm thinking just straight down for now. For the time being, we're only going to be expecting a single train doing this run. I think it's reasonable to expect... well, we should probably make a couple of passovers. Or pass-throughs. I'm not going to worry about having too many of them, though. Can I get you? Oh, it's a cliff. Okay. That's unfortunate. It would have been nice to have the bots over there help out. The bloody cliffs, though. They're everywhere. Not too bad. Now, for the time being, all I actually need is to have a single train make this journey. So, in order to get the system up and running the soonest, I'm just going to prep this for a single train. A single line heading down into the station. And then from there... Oh, God, we ran out. Okay, I wonder if there's going to be enough landfill back there. Actually, we could just yoink the landfill that's over here. Because I know that it's got some. Could you deliver some landfill to me? It's 91. That'll do for now. We probably used up some on these. Novians. Yeah, that actually has a bit of a ring to it, I like. Couple of 100,000 is pretty good for Gleba. I actually have no basis of comparison, so I'll take your word for it. Let's continue on. Oh, really? Did we run out just there? Okay. I need a tiny bit more. I can probably steal it by yoinking some of the actual ground that I've laid in this area. That'll do. Eventually it'll get redone. As long as I'm out of range for it, I will just reapply. And then the next time the supply train brings landfill down, it'll fill that in. Though I'm going to be replacing the defenses over there with the ones similar to the upper two farms. So there's going to be a bit of redesign there anyway. Right, okay. Time for us to get a train station. Right now, this is for fruit trains, but should be okay. I will eventually want 2 trains to be able to come down here, so I'm leaving enough room for that. Might actually want to do that now, in fact. Right. Let's bring the tank up top. There we go. That is plenty big enough for us. Plonk. The resource is going to be stone. In this case, it's going to be exactly the same over there. And an exit out. Right, there we go. Okay. Let's hop out. Oh, damn it. I gave up all of the chests, didn't I? A bit annoying. Still going to have to bring down the power poles, though. No getting away from that one. But before we do that, going to want all of the trees removed from this section. So I can just throw down a few mines. Did I get many? I got 23. It's not great, but it'll do for now. Okay. Oh, trains are already approaching. Okay, never mind. I was expecting that I was going to have to set that up, but apparently, no. Apparently, no. Did the station already set itself to what? Yeah, I guess it did. Huh. Oh, it's because the stations for fruit only work on their priority system, not whether there's anything there to collect. It's not my usual push-pull system. It's fine. We can make this work still. Oh. Okay. I usually don't treat a little offshoot like this as a regular full belt because it's got such a small output. Same, well, that one is a little bit bigger, but still not much of anything really. I guess here I would probably say that this was 3 separate belts. How much damage is being done? Uh-oh. Oh, you're trying to get up there. Right. That is a problem, actually. Okay. It will technically still work. It's awfully jank, but it will work. It is horrifically jank, though. Right, I've got 3 lines that realistically I want to bring into 2, but if I just say that it, for all intents and purposes, is just 2 lines, that makes this a hell of a lot easier for me, so I'm going to do it that way. This is going to need a lot of other lines anyway, so I'm not going to be too fussed about it. Oh, yeah. Right, unfortunately, now I need to hook up the power. And I haven't taken the time yet to set up a blueprint book for lines. I will in time, but right now I haven't done that yet. I'm actually kind of looking forward to doing it. I might do it in the next place because, well, depending on where I'm sent. So I hear that Vulcanus is pretty much all cliffs all the time. Mind you, Falgora is probably not that far off it. Let's pop this there and then continue up. Oh, actually, we're close enough. In fact, we were close enough for a while. Let me go ahead and just bring this out. Do I have enough landfill? I do. Right, okay, that's giving me power. Which means the mines will have activated. Or they would have if I had been smart enough to make sure that they were connected. That would have been quite the smart thing to do. But I need some belts anyway. So let's see if we have belt here to be... doesn't look like we do. Well, I've got blue belt on me, so I may as well use it. I could realistically make the red belt if I really, really care about that. But I need to make some adjustments to the train stop just so that it doesn't... Oh. Never mind. No, I don't have enough, sadly. Right, so... let's go ahead and build these out from here. There we go. Alright, do I have the means to make a couple of these? I do. Not enough, but we'll get a little bit of extra mining capability down here. In fact, that one train stop is still missing a piece of belt. Fix it! Which train stop are you talking about? You're going to need to be a little bit more specific. Ah, I got you. Never mind, you didn't need to be more specific. I've learned how to decipher chat. It's a crazy skill. Wild. Right, okay, so. This is the priority. Realistically here, I'm going to want to read the amount of items in the chest. So, yeah, let's... do I do that anywhere else? Kind of. This would work. So if I grab all of that, this wiring would give me... Just plonk that there for a second. Stone here. Stone. And stone. This is how many chests. I've got 6 of these. One wagon. So this would be able to tell me how much storage I have, how much a train can store. This gives me the stack size. But realistically, I don't need that. I need that here. But I don't actually need to know any of this. I just need to have a decider that will take how much train can store versus how much is actually available. So my cargo, if stone available is greater than cargo, and output, am I setting this based on stone? No, set train limit as L. Then I want to output stone 1. Just 1. And I'll set the train limit to be whatever the product is. And I'm also going to need to take... yeah, that same bit of circuitry right there. So let's get all of this hooked up. Clunk. Remove you, remove you. We're not setting the priority. I am reading the train count. Don't need to read the train. There we go. And this will simply reverse whatever that is. Does it make anyone else incredibly nervous to have a boom puff right next to all of these buildings? Makes me nervous. Makes me nervous enough that I'm just going to take care of one of them. Now, you want to be careful about doing this one at a time. Because as we've seen, you can, if you try to pick up enough of them all at once, you can set off a chain reaction. That is far, far more dangerous. I still don't know if it's possible that you'll ever really be outputting enough damage to cause that issue, but we'll see. I want C times -1 and output that as stone. I want to know if there is a train on the way. Then I want to announce that that train is on the way so more trains are not sent. Right, okay, we've now got our stone mine. Now all I need to do is hook up all of the chests to this, and we should have our calculation. There we are. I should be summoning a train, or rather, a train will be available to be sent. Let's see if one is on the way. You are... Are you coming down here? We'll find out quickly. Yes. Yeah, it is. Okay, there we go. Stone mine complete. Really? Already? I guess I did build it on the very fringe just so that would happen. There we go. Have you not got power? For real? Why is... Would it even let me continue building that? Oh, that one's still got one. Okay. Right, I do need to hook up more stone, though. That one's only got 159,000. That's got 100,000, 84, 121, 34, somehow. 28k, 174, 280, 93. I think if we hook up this, and these two, I will not have to come back here for that. Okay, let's have a look. Aavak, that one train stop is still... I already read that one. Not much to decipher if we look at time chat. To be fair, Twitch chat has like a 30 to 40 second delay. Do you know how much stuff I can do in the 30, 40 seconds? I'm Welsh. I can have finished several sentences. I'm on a different topic in 40 seconds. I possibly moved through about 4 of them. My brain's already like 3 topics ahead. That just because my mouth can't possibly keep up with the speed that my thoughts are going at. You've come a long way from the Aavak that couldn't find stone. It took me so long to notice that stone was just there. Oh my lord, I felt so dumb when I noticed it. So dumb. Very happy to now have it, but my goodness, that was a pain in the backside. Right, that's actually, you know what, let's stop the tank. Let's probably have a gander at how things are. Oh, that's so much better. So much better. Do I want to set up the production of the specialist soils? Unfortunately, I would need to bring nutrients to this, though. So realistically, I would want to set up a soil production on this line somewhere. That's just a thing we'll do later. But now with that, all of these mines will get placed properly. Okay, there we go. One entity was destroyed, fair enough. Alright, so that's all done. I kind of do want to add a second rail, but that is not a high priority right now. The high priority for me right now is A, getting more mines. Maybe I should add that to the mall. I don't know if that's necessary. The mall is more for stuff that I would need to be able to make more stuff. So, oh, remind me, chat, because I worry I might forget about this one. Please remind me to add assemblers to the mall. I'm going to need a way to make things that can make more things. With that, I can pretty much add any other item to the mall later as I find the need. I just wanted the main things that I use for establishing new bases to be on the mall. So, you know, the radars, the power posts, the bots. The rest can be added in time. They're not nearly as important initially. All right. Pop out. Right, we're going to want a little bit of a stacker over here. How much of one is the question, though? One too far. We're going to want this heading into the junction. This heading out of the junction. Realistically speaking, this could be enough for a few trains. We'll see. Do I have the track on me right now? I don't. Well, actually, no, I do. I do. There we go. Are the bots coming to do the rest? Yes. There we go. Do I... Yeah, I must just lack the landfill, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to wait for them to deliver the landfill painstakingly, then set these up. That does fill me with the fear. I'm not going to lie. But at least now we're getting landfill made. Landfill is not going to be something I'm going to need a lot of. By and large. Yeah, honestly, just a single train stop in the middle here would be enough. To give me effectively 2 trains worth of parking there. This is a very, very ugly junction, but sad to say, this is just going to be the way it's going to have to be. Oh my lord, really. Did I really just build that there just to have to tear it down again? I apparently did. Why are you fighting against me, game? There we go. Right, that's a stacker going up there, but I actually need the stacker to also travel up here, which is way less convenient. Ugh. But can we just take the moment to appreciate the fact that we can do stuff like this, even though we shouldn't be? The fact that we now can is something to be celebrated. Machines building machines. How perverse. C3PO. What an obscure quote. Wow, your research is slow. Oh yeah, no, my research is super slow. I think... I'm actually not sure what part of it is slow. I think the Prid one is bringing the science over relatively quickly. What is it that's slow down here? Oh no, we did run out completely. It may have rotted though, if I'm honest. That being said, Pridwen waits for... Uh-oh. Where are you trying to go? No idea. Not at all certain where you were trying to leave to. Not you. Train cannot find destination. Yeah, but what is your destination? Is it here? Would seem to be the case. So what have I done? Oh. I think this is the problem right there. Right, well, I'm going to need the landfill from somewhere then in order to fix that. There we go. Train should be able to make his way now. I assumed that signal would have been sorted. Sadly, no. Let's see if it does in fact work now. No, you've still not got a destination. Oh no. You're trying to get to the jelly nuts. Why is that not working then? Ah. My bad. Shouldn't have added that in there. There you go. That's on me. Right. I think everything here is within Roboport range. Yeah, so they'll all be built as time permits. So, what I want to do now is go and hook up these areas to request multiple trains if there are multiple farms that could support it. That's how much a single train can have. Storage. Trains are less than... fruit is less than one train's worth. Don't need that. What I would like to see is... fruit minus. The outcome, the output of this. Right, is that going nowhere? It is going nowhere. So this is calculating how much storage I have. This is multiplying fruit by storage. It shouldn't be. Well, actually, no, it should, because that's the stack. That's how much fruit I could store. So I then want to deduct that from the amount of fruit that I am storing, which is here. S minus Yamako. I'll put S. And I've got the amount that a train can store. So I just divide the amount of space I have by a full train. Actually, let's connect it this way just to, because I'm going to have to use that differently. So divide S by C. I guess, output fruit. So I could store 4 trains worth. Yeah, that works. Right. Then finally, then, I'm going to want to hook this up on green. I will have a separate combinator that will say this is going to be a little bit confusing, but I'm going to say that there are 2 trains that are allowed. I'm going to use fruit for both outputs, but if fruit on green is higher than fruit on red, then output yeah, and there's no rot, then output the input of fruit on red. Actually, no. What I'll say is, basically, I need to pick which side I output based on the condition. I kind of need a separate conditional here. Yeah, I guess a separate decider as well. I'll just use whichever one fits. So, grab that, move it across, copy this one, paste it in. Alright, so if the actual amount of trains that I could handle is higher than the amount of trains that I'm willing to handle, then output whatever that is. Otherwise, if it's less than or equal to, then output the green signal instead. So if it's 1 or 2, output green. But if it's more than 2, then output red, which would give me the correct amount. There we go. So that's saying send 2 trains. There's one over there currently collecting. So this should start being a lot more responsive now. Now, of course, I don't actually have the stacker finished yet, which is a problem. Let me try and make sure that it does finish it before it starts sending too many trains over. Probably wise. There we go. Mischief managed. Right, they'll finish the rest now. As long as this part's there, I've got effectively 2 trains that can be in the stacker. Hi, Mr. Turner. Thank you very much for the subscription. That's incredibly, incredibly kind of you. Tier 2. Diolch yn fawr fawr iawn. That is fantastically kind of you. Is there a good way to bookmark where in the YouTube VODs I'm doing circuits? him doing circuits is each time, so I can rewatch as many times as I need to understand. Write a comment. The way I would do it, Kayin, if you don't want to just like have a text document or something, write a comment on the video and write your own timestamps in it. Oh no, there are sections on the track which allow trains to go both ways, and sections where it's only one way to allow trains to pass one another if they're trying to use the same section of track. Like this one doesn't allow it, so a train would have to be parked up here if it wants to go through here and there's already a train moving up. For the sections where it requires a lot of landfill, I've done that in the same way that you might do that for like areas where you were building tunnels in something like Transportation Tycoon. I should probably pop a little radar down here. Another one just up on that hill. But how are we doing for stone overall? Could be doing a lot better, actually. Well, that being said, we have had a recent delivery. Might not need it, thinking about it. Where are you headed? Oh yeah, no, it is working now. It's working correctly. We're calling more trains as necessary for the Yamako fruits. Okay, very much like that. Okay, let's go set up a second... set up the same logic for the jelly nuts. How about I just grab this bit? Change this to the parameter. Oh. I'm only going to do this once. Tunk. And then we plonk you down. And I set this to jelly nuts. There we go. That should have fixed the problem. Yeah. Let's make it more of a jelly nut color again. There we go. Jobs are good. Right, so both of these will now potentially request multiple trains, which is exactly what we want. This rot is extremely upsetting. I want to be rid of it. And yet, here we are. Problem is, it's always going to happen. Like, one side will get that rot one way or another. Oh well. There's not a lot I can do about it. Alright. So, with that done, landfill is being provided once again. And it is now time for me to add more stuff onto the belt. Now, one that I would like is to be able to build assembling machines. But that is going to require that I have a local production of speed modules. And that is quite the ask. I mean, I can do it, but it is quite the ask. I think you could fix the rot by the jelly nut station by just not lane balancing, but I kind of want them to be lane balanced. That is a fair point though. My compulsion to lane balance is not useful here. The issue is the jelly nuts get consumed so slowly. That's the problem. I guess, strictly speaking, this is never going to be... this will effectively never cause additional rot because all of this is moving on to the correct line. No matter what's happening. This stuff doesn't accumulate because it gets used so quickly. Oh, we are actually producing the elevated rails now. Right, okay, so I want to have the seeds being made, or rather being processed into the correct types of landfill. So let's just go ahead and do that. So 1, 2. This one will be making Yamako fruit landfill. This one will be making the jelly nut soil. Seeds will be available. I'm going to need nutrients and landfill. Now the problem with that is I do not make nutrients locally. What I could do though... Oh, but they do need a lot, don't they? They need 50 nutrients each. Huh. That's actually going to be really hard. Without making a whole new module specifically for making that. So I'd need to either yoink some nutrients from one of the other belts, or produce them locally, but I would produce them so slowly. Like, these use so much, it actually is worthwhile making them in a biofactory, using bioflux to nutrient recipe. I mean, I guess I could. It's not ideal, though. But I suppose I could. Let's find the mito core. If I wanted to make this happen, I would need to extend this out a little bit further. Which again isn't impossible for me to do, just it's not ideal. And all this would be there for is to make the soils. We do kind of need the soils. So it would be worth me doing. Alright, well. There's no use me humming and hawing about it. Let's get that done. I'll import the seeds, though. What I will do here is have that branch over. That is facing the wrong way. Oh, yeah. Right. Now I've got that. I'll go ahead and upgrade all of these belts. Oh, yeah. This will hook up to the main network, or would normally. Here we go. So that can request nutrients and bioflux as necessary. I'm going to need some new... a new set of biochambers. So I'm going to need to go and grab some pentapod eggs for that. Yoink. I realistically should probably make these produced automatically. It'll do for now. Right, so this will produce bioflux. It will produce nutrients. Rot will be removed on that side. But for this particular setup, I only need the bioflux and nutrients realistic. Well, I could have a separate belt add yeah, I could have a separate belt bring in the different types of soil. That wouldn't be a problem. Right there. And since they won't realistically decay, I'm not going to worry about that. These seeds are basically unlimited in that regard. But I am going to want quite a lot of loading potential for the nutrients and the bioflux. Well, actually, it's only the nutrients, really. This one can make jelly nut soil. This one can make... Actually, since it is only the nutrients I need, I'll do this. Oh, actually, no, there's not really that much reason to do it like that. The reason being that I'm going to want each one to pull in seeds and landfill anyway. But the nutrients inside the system can still rot. So I do still need to address that. But this will only remove the Yamako. Because this one should be Yamako fruit soil. Blacklist it, and then waste goes that way. This becomes jelly nut soil. Blacklist it, and that is more or less all we do at this section. Actually, let's move these down a little bit. That way all of this is in the same place. And then I want... I'm going to say not that much of this stockpiled. Don't really think we need that much. How many seeds do I need per? It's only 2. And how much does this make? It makes 10. So I'll have... Let's have a think. Honestly, yeah, just 1 stack of seeds and 1 stack of regular landfill. Same down here. There we go. And 1 stack of landfill as well. Right. That will be able to take care of pretty much everything. This doesn't need to be here. We can clean that up straight away. There we go. Right, this system should be requesting more stuff to be sent down. And since I don't... Well, how would I want to measure where the work is being done over on this side? I think it's literally just checking how much is stockpiled in each of these. So I would want, if I grab this, pop that over here. Read contents. Oh, that's a new one. Include in crafting. Ingredients that are part of an in-craft recipe. I'm going to say no to that one. That's fine. If the soil is greater or equal to 3, or this soil is greater or equal to 3. Actually, I should have it and then output stop work. There you go. And we're done. Right, should this get nutrients and bioflux delivered, then it will kickstart. But we likely need Yamako Mash to... Yeah, the biogenesis module isn't running. If you don't need a lot of nutrients, why not use the closest rock to make 50% spoiled nutrients? I need a lot. 50 nutrients per craft. Okay, in. I did consider that one. I did have a think of that, but when I saw the recipe needed 50 nutrients per crafting, I abandoned it. Doing that with pure rot would be a real pain. But my plan for Gleba 4.0 does involve changing the mitocores into using rot to kickstart the biochambers with the bioflux to nutrient recipe. Yeah, the crafting of the inventory option is huge. That's genuinely a massive one. Right, where are all the trains? Oh. That should have been this. Alright, drive remotely. Back up. Manual. No, wrong way. Wow, 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 wow. Okay. Right. Automatic stop driving. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me again. I really shouldn't hold in my sneezes. But my other hand, the one I would usually use for muting the mic, was busy holding a cup of tea. I have my priorities in check. Right, there we go. Now this one won't let something through unless it can get an exit point, depending on where it's going. There we are. That'll start running a bit better now. Or running at all, for that matter. Okay. So, we've got the potential for soil to be made, which is an important one. As much as it pains me, I do think we need to have a production area for the assemblers. And it does pain me, but, you know, it is what it is. So, let's just plonk down 3 of these. I'm going to need to go from basic assembler to machine 2, tier 3 rather, to tier 3, tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3. This requires speed modules. This requires largely everything this one does, except it wants steel instead of iron. And what does a speed module require? It requires red and green circuits. Alright. It's not an awful craft, to be fair. We need 2 belts. 1 belt, 2 belt inserters. 1 belt, 2 belt inserters. Damn it. Yeah, no, that's fine. And then this above this. Because I'm not outputting anything but the highest tier one, this should work. Oh dear. We're fine. And we are slowly getting the rest of this minefield set up. I might actually want to add in an extra train, if I'm honest. It may well be worth it. Has this one got enough seats? Sort of. We'll come back to that. Have we got this system running yet? It's got the nutrients. It lacks the bioflux, though. Have we got the bioflux moving down the belts? We do not. I'm starting to strongly consider that I should just have the bioflux be loaded this way. I think that should work. Because that way, any bioflux that gets out on this belt is going to be available for the main system. Yeah. That works a bit better. Alright. Once the bioflux gets up here, this will kick in properly, and we should be golden. It's going to take a little bit of time for it to get around the circuit, but... Are you grabbing it all? Oh, you're actually asking for... Ooh. Why? Oh, fair enough. It just doesn't have enough. May have been a while before it, since it last kicked in properly. There's the bioflux. Okay, it's going to take those 3 and another delivery as well. So if I don't see another delivery, then we're not getting anywhere yet. Is this shut down? No, we should still be trying to do something. Oh. We lack the jelly nuts. Really? Yes, yes we do. And there is an issue with that in that I should easily have them being brought in. Alright. We're going to change this up a little bit. I hadn't really considered that I would need the biogenesis module to get the reboot, but here we are. So anything that manages to get onto the waistline can be fed back in there. That works for me. There we are. Hopefully this will have an opportunity to kickstart shortly. There we are. Okay, it'll take a little bit of time, but it will be up and running. Okay, so I needed gears once again, and the green circuits. You. Want you. Wrong place. It's these 2 that need the gears and the green circuits. This one does not. That one just needs the output from here. There we go. Actually, we'll take it all the way down there. Let's be a bit crazy and just fill all of this in, because it's just going to irritate me otherwise. It'll take them a while to do it, but it's fine. Alright, I want steel and I want iron there. Now, have I got enough room? I do not, by a tiny, tiny bit. So let's just scooch you across. Iron can go there. And then steel is all the way down here. Go there. Yep. I'm going to want the crossovers. Now, realistically, I'm probably going to want to store some of these. Oops. But only 1 stack. Actually, do I ever want... No, I'm not going to say I do. I'm not going to say I do. And the reason for that is that I'm probably going to build modules somewhere else and deliver high quality modules here. That would be my plan at any rate. Well, now we've got these. I may as well just plonk one of these down and take care of... Well, actually, let me move that up. Probably want it about here to take care of things. There we go. Now, all I need for you is red and green circuits. Let's have green circuits can be on the bottom. Though I'm gonna... Ooh, actually, let's move this down. Green circuits can be there instead. I will say, as much as I don't like buses as the be-all, end-all, it is incredibly cathartic to set one up. It's just satisfying. Genuinely satisfying to do. I popped all of those in the wrong place, didn't I? And somehow didn't notice it until that moment. Madness. There we go. Right. You are wonderfully soothing to have on while I'm ghost hunting, Aavak. Have to say. Thanks. Ghost hunting in real life or ghost hunting in the more mundane game? I'm not gonna lie, kind of hoping you're gonna say, yeah, no, I'm actually a professional ghost hunter in real life. I'm staking out a poltergeist right now. Nah, phasmophobia. If I was hunting them in real life, I wouldn't let anything make a sound, let alone listen to a stream. Wouldn't let them make a sound? It's bold of you. Uh-oh. 200 entities just got damaged. Wow. That was some chonky badness right there. Just yikes. Maybe the ghost would find Aavak soothing too. Pro ghost hunting tip. I see. Should I start using that as advertising? Is this my true calling? Oh, can't place it because of a lack of landfill. Shame. A shame, to be sure. Dear God. Whatever it was, just really did just walk straight through here, didn't it? Worrisome. Go and see if I can nab some of the landfill automagically. Well, automatically is the wrong word. As a priority. We haven't had a stone delivery in a bit. Why? Okay. That should not have been a possibility for you. Why did it allow you through there? Oops. Driving, automatic. You also need to drive backwards. There we go. Just clear the way. I swear, please bugger off. Let this poor train through. Okay, fine. I'll move you. Pains me to do so, however. I'm just going to clog this lane for now. Okay. Why is that? I would have thought the chain signals... Oh, I just had a regular signal over there. What a dummy. There we go. That will fix that. It needed to be a chain signal. Okay. That should get stone flowing again. Hey, hello, Saru. Yeah. Ever since I set up that attempted stacker in such a small space, I've been having deadlock issues. It's my own fault. I knew it was too small of an area. But now that that's properly set up, it should resolve many of the problems. Right. Finally, I can put that back in here, which it should be. I'll reserve the whole line. It's fine. Right. Do we have the trains where they need to be? Not really, no. Oh, no. Now this is a problem. There's a sincere problem. I kind of knew it was going to happen, though. Once you've moved, one of these will move in. Oh, I chose the wrong one. Well. Bugger it. There we go. Just needed to make sure the signaling was correct. And now this can also act as a additional stop for this station. I really didn't expect the train network to grow to the scale that it has. That's really very much on me. Which train just had trouble? You can't find a way down there. Really? Oh. Actually, I'm just going to remove these two. That'll give it a route. My lord, the amount of shenanigans I've caused trying to fix one problem. Hey, Deathbringer. We had, for the longest time, our two-way rail system was fine. I ran out of landfill while trying to make a stacker over here, and in an attempt to just get it working again without having the full thing sorted, I introduced so many issues. It is 100% user error there. Needless user error, which is the worst kind. Landfill has sadly ceased. On the plus side though, you should be done. There we go. Honestly though, there is no real reason why this should be waiting that long. There we go, that's a better distribution. Oh yeah, no, that's the wrong one. I thought it had pulled into the resupply station for the outposts. Oh wow, did you have nothing? No seeds have been delivered. It has been a very long time since seeds were delivered. Yeah, all of those shenanigans meant that the farms weren't getting their supply runs. It would be so much better for me if the supply train, if the pickup trains were carrying the seeds, but that's just not the reality we're playing with right now. Sadly. I'm still waiting on. Actually, there's a fair few things that it still wants. It'll get them done, though. Actually, the bots, it won't get done. Not unless I tell Pridwen to start bringing those over. I kind of don't want to. Also, we are very much out of this. But why? Oh. Oh, Lord. When did I break that? When on earth did I break that? No idea, but it has been thoroughly broken for a while. That is why the science has basically been stalled. We've been making it, it's just been rotting. But here we go. We are now producing. It's going to be a slow production, but it doesn't need to be fast. It just needs to be happening. This is the mall, after all. Right. Okay, so assembly machines complete. With that, I can pretty much get anything I need. The next thing to produce, we've got radars. It's bots. Once bots are done, that is the last component for us. More gubbinsery. Gubbinsery? Oh, I love it. When did I break that? Words every Factorio player has said many times, yeah. If Open Transportation Tycoon Deluxe has taught me anything, it's that using two-way rail systems is more of a headache than it's worth. But sometimes you just have to, though. Certainly if you're playing on a server, you have to. Because you are not the one in control of whether that city expands the way you want it to. You cannot lay out your perfect... You reserve your perfect area for your airport and your train station and your bus hub, because other players are grabbing stuff all over the place in a chaotic way that isn't nearly as predictable as with AI players. So sometimes you just have to squirrel a solution, and it's those times that you need a two-headed rail. When you're trying to squirrel a stop inside a city that is just not going to let you demolish half of the downtown area in order to fit a proper train station in there. I'm not even talking like griefing being the issue there, Leo the human. I just mean like if other players have their own objectives and are not just like letting you dominate a city, they're like, well, I wanted, to make money in this city too, and so they're buying up land as well. So you haven't got the kind of the breathing room that playing against an AI, purely AI gives you. Right. Okay. So bots. To make bots, we must have flying robot frames, which requires electric engines, which requires basic engines, which requires pipe. Oh, yeah, we need to add pipe. Yeah, kind of do. Kind of do. I can actually do that down here, though. So why not, eh? Why not? Actually, let's put a buffer chest down. Now, my question is, if a buffer chest is requesting something and then the player is also requesting it, does it give priority to the player's request, or does the buffer chest simply hold on to it forever? Actually, these definitely don't need to be these kinds of things. Player always has priority. That's brilliant. Do constructions also have priority? Because the buffer chest will also give to constructions as well. This one will just make pipe. This one will just make pipe to ground. There we go. Alright, well, pipe is now in the network. It says personal and automatic construction. It does, but I'm wondering specifically when there is a case where it is also requesting that thing itself, whether it would give priority to requests from external requests, but it might be a for sciencey kind of scenario, that one. Right. Okay, so we want to grab steel and iron gears. Iron gears are already there. It's actually kind of perfect, though. Right, so we're going to pop that there. We're going to have this, excuse me, move up through the middle. Gears, circuits. I still need to deliver the steel. Now, does a tank use a... I can't imagine a tank uses an electric engine, but... it does not. It would make sense for it not to because it runs on fuel. And only enable if the regular engines are below a stack. They can load in as needed. Same thing. Right, we want lubricant brought over here, but I've got lubricant down hither. Can I easily... No, not easily. Actually, no, that's a lie. I can. There we go. That brings the lubricant where it needs to be. So that will make us electric engines that will be available for other things. Only one stack should ever be produced. This should be requesting electric engines. There we are. That way I'm not going to produce more than I need. That's the reason why I'm having them request, is so that if I've just got some in the network somewhere, it's not going to waste resources trying to ship them around. I'm going to use a blue belt here. Actually, I can just deliver that there. Don't need to run it up top. There we go. So engines are now on the network. The robot frames are going to require a little tiny bit more. Do these have the similar thing? Actually, they require steel gears. No, they don't. Steel gears and electronic parts. Sorry, red circuits. These do not require gears in any capacity. Does this require gears? No. Shame. But enough of them require steel that I should probably just bring that up top. Because the robot frames are going to need it, along with batteries and green circuits. These are going to need it. Oh, actually, no. They just mean green and red. So if I bring green and red in... Sorry, I was looking at the thing below the total construction components. Yeah, these just need the flying robot frames and the circuits. And I do this a lot, actually. This needs the green circuits, steel, battery, and electric engines. And then finally, this needs the red circuits. I think I can probably set this up in a somewhat efficient way. Can but hope. So this would be the flying robot frames. I'd want you to lift those engines over there. Want the steel. Gonna need batteries and the electronic circuits. Batteries are something that realistically I should just bring in. Not sure where I'm manufacturing them, but right here. Yeah, I've just got them going on. Oh my lord. I really actually need to move this. Like, I built this as a stopgap while wrapping up the stream last time, and I've just built around it. Why did I just build around it? Why didn't I just be like, oh well, I'm making a proper mall now. I should make the bus proper. Hello, Der Pumu. Construction absolutely builds from buffer chests. That's one of the two key reasons they were mentioned way back in Factorio Friday Facts 203. When the main base is so far away, it can take a long time for robots to arrive with repair packs, so the biters might be able to break through. Using the buffer chest, it will be easy to set up nearby supplies to quickly repair walls when needed. Okay. Past Aavak was a jerk. I'm thinking I probably want to set these up properly. Then have batteries being delivered here properly. Yeah, as painful as that is. The issue is that batteries are not a convenient material to build with or from. So I'm going to need the red and green circuit belt here, probably running straight through. This is going to require the copper, a copper and a iron belt, as well as sulfuric acid. But if I do build this over here, then I can have the laser being built beside it. That's going to require the electronic circuits as well. And I can just bring steel up. Which isn't a bad idea. In fact, what I could do is this. Not entirely certain that this is going to work for me, but we can find out. We will see. There we go. Now, as for my gun turrets, I just need gears as well as copper and iron. And since I need copper and iron for this anyway, that's going to be on my list. There is no real reason why I'm doing that over here. That's not. That's instead not, eh? Oh, yeah. But that should work. I am going to need to bring the sulfuric acid up there, but that will actually be much less of a problem. Actually, how ironic. Sulfuric acid being produced here. Okay. How about cross? I can. Ah! Damn it. Okay, so gonna need another way of doing this. I'm not going to need it going over there once we've done that. I'm literally just going around. Ah, this hurts. Everyone wants to be around here, apparently. There we go. That'll be making the batteries. Okay. Ooh. Wait. One of the things I was going to do with this is I was going to have the two types of bots on either side. Yeah, I was. So this is going to have to be up here instead. Frustrating, but oh well. A blue inserter will do. I could... Oh, actually, no. If I pop it over here, I can still pull from the right place. I'll just pop... I was trying to avoid this in particular, as I feel it looks very ugly. But it's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. We'll still make it work. There we go. Actually, need you to be one over. I really dislike inserters pulling off tunnels or splitters. That's why I do that. That's all you're gonna need. that's all you're going to need. I still need to bring the copper and the iron to you. But other than that, these two will just need the batteries. Like so. I think I'll pop a roboport over there. Yeah. I don't believe the roboports are going to need... No, they don't. Good, good, good. Right, this one will be for logistics. This one will be for construction. Ooh, I've got to put them somewhere. That's fine. This will be a pure provider chest situation. We don't need anything other than that. Yeah, just one stack. One stack sitting here because I'm going to be requesting them elsewhere. Yeah, probably going to be requesting it here, actually. That's not so bad. Right, so I'm going to want this to request stack of logistics, a stack of construction. This one will read robot statistics. Available logistics is 27. X. Available construction is Z. This will be active if Z is less than 10. And this one will be active if X is less than 10. It's unlikely that's going to be the case, but I'll set it up to do that. That'll be fine. Right, so the remaining one that I would like to grab is the roboport. At this point, it makes all the sense in the world for me to just do that. Oh, I've been trying not to put things that close, but oh well, I guess I'm gonna have to in this instance. And I should be able to bring this over without too much trouble. There we go. That makes this one a little bit more awkward, if I'm honest, but it should be fine. Blue circuits. I'm not even sure I'm going to need them over here anymore, but we'll try and sort it out anyway. There we go. And all remains now is the copper and the iron. And they're over here. Nice and simple. I I can easily pop it there because I don't need that going into both ports. There we go. So that has not only added the bots onto the network, it's moved the lasers and the batteries up. I still need to move this, but the rest of you can move. There we go. A lot of the belts here ended up being that way because with the tunnels, for example, because of the fact I was building things in the middle there. That one will change once we're ready. There we go. This one's going to have to be the... Well, I mean, I could do it with 2 reds, but I think that's fine. Okay. Okay, right, let's find out. Where is everything right now? Everything is completely stalled. We have no iron on the belt whatsoever. And a big part of that is the complete and utter lack of jelly nuts that was caused by all of the faffing around that was going on over here that meant that the the supply train didn't come over here for a while and thus didn't deliver any seeds. I am starting to wonder if I can afford to perhaps have more seeds on the train. I'm going to increase it to 40. So an extra stack. I wish seeds were less voluminous. Feels the seeds really shouldn't be this massive, but oh well. It is what it is. Hey, Silent Psychopath, how you doing? Second year, best year. Thank you so much for the 24 months, mate. It's incredibly, incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for the support. As far as gubbins goes, we are not producing pretty much anything, really. I am requesting the landfill. It's just not really getting there. It's being used up on a million other projects, it seems. Now, I can see... Oh, okay, there's a little bit of landfill needed there. I'm strongly tempted to just add more of these, but the reality is that we're consuming the stone faster than we're bringing the stone. So I don't really think the landfill would actually help us. Building a second producer. All right, well, while that's happening, then let's no. No. Let's set up the gun turret. Copper plate. I just need a gear. So copper's going through there. I guess just putting it above would work. Right, so we want this to pull up the iron and the copper. This to pull up the gears. This to deposit the turrets. On that note, I also need to deposit the turrets here as well. Once again, one stack is all I want. One stack's all I want. And realistically, that is all I need as far as the turrets go. Now, do I possibly want to move the production of the rocket turrets over there as well? No, they're already running on the bus. That's perfectly fine. I mean, having them pull from the blue circuits would be better than requesting them here. If only because I don't really stockpile. Well, I do stockpile blue circuits. It's fine. What I could do is have the blue circuits just delivered. A very frivolous use of belt there. But it's okay. It's for a very good cause. Super good. Right, okay. At this point then, once the landfill is complete, I'm going to say we have created a sufficient enough mall to accommodate, to prepare all of the things that I need. Everything I needed in the mall is in the mall now. All of the gubbins that I needed to make sure was available to the base is sorted. That's just going to be brought straight back. There we go. Iron is barely moving. That is unfortunately the way it is. Quite a lot of the time. Oh, hello. Oh, wow. You got blatted way before you were a threat. I am very happy with that. Seems that a significantly denser minefield is absolutely doing what it needs. Welcome to the Hotel Gleeberfornia. Oh my lord. Please no. I've got to escape, chat. I've got to get away. Yeah, this is the big issue. And I've already got a plan to significantly improve the way that nutrients move down the belt. But as I've said, there's no point in redesigning for Gleber 4.0 before we have access to cliff explosives and I can make a much neater, flatter area for me to work with. Until then, we're just going to soldier on. Bubbles, no, don't encourage them. It'll never end. I do actually need you to head down and drop things off. I can only assume you're going to that. Yeah, you will be going here because it's the only one that needs it. The big issue I'm having is how horribly long it takes to load everything in here. Takes a phenomenal time. And a lot of the space is taken up by these. Being said, 3 more items wanted to be on there. So realistically, yeah, no, we have just enough room. Anything more will push this past its limit. Was that all it wanted? Yep. Yep, that is exactly all it wanted. Fair enough. Okay. Right. Did I want to set up production of the miners? Iron, gear, and electric circuits. Gears, iron and copper, and electric circuits. No, I'll build on this side. Actually, that said, I'm kind of running out of room over here. In a big way. So maybe I'm going to need to flip this around and draw from the top. I'll make this a lot easier for me to do. Now, how much is it going to need? 10, 5, and 3. You know what, though? I could just have these be transported for as often as I'm going to be using them, which is not really very often. Pridwen can bring them, I think. Yeah. A rocket can carry 50, which is more than enough. You bring along 50. Oh, science is on its way, nice. And Gleba will request 50. Because there's a very high chance that I'm going to want to bring over the bigger miners from Vulcanus once I've established there. So there's no point in me setting up production over here. Alright, now it's just a matter of time. That's all it is. Just waiting on stuff to finish production. And being impatient. Because that is exactly what I'm being. Scoot you along. That's already covering everything. Plonk you in there. I am indeed actually going to have 2 of these. No reason to use the larger volume inserters for removing the landfill, because I'm just not making it fast enough. But there we go. That'll empty out the train stop a lot faster, which means we'll request another train a lot faster. One of the other big problems with using the supply train to deliver the seeds is the supply train needs to unload every item after it does a supply run, because it always needs to be empty when it returns here. And that's just a pain. I mean, having all of these things super close by is useful, but it takes a while to load this. You know what? I keep switching. I should sort descending. Load the thing that I've got the most of first. That way it shouldn't... It should just focus on that thing for a while. It is still cycling though. Interesting. I don't remember how I set that up. Is it running a constant clock? Oh, it is running a clock. Right, okay. Yeah, it's cycling through items every couple of seconds. Every second and a half it switches the item it's trying to load. In many cases, the only thing it wants at these supply depots is seeds. And then it returns and unloads everything. That is an enormous inefficiency in the system. If I simply had the seeds going out on the train that was going to deliver a fruit, that would be so very much more efficient. It's painful. At least it empties the train really fast. The other one is already loading. But yeah, if there was some way using the interrupt signal system, the push-pull system, to have it load a train first. Yeah, send the train to be loaded by stuff first based on a stop it's going to. That would be so much better. Because then I could just have the train take like 50 seeds or what have you, or 30 seeds, drop them off every single time. But then at some point it would probably slowly overstuff the system, so it's awkward. Seeds don't spoil, why not belt them? All the way down here? That's a hell of a belt, mate. I'd rather not. I mean, you could do it that way. You absolutely could. But considering I am setting up seeds at quite disparate locations, that would suck. I just wish seeds didn't take as much room as they do. I don't have specific trains, Sander. The trains are cargo agnostic, so any train could be called upon to do anything. And because of that, I can't reserve spots on them. The farms are not in the same bot network, no. By intention. The only other thing I could do, I guess, would be to... Actually, I wonder. If I were to set up something that would just basically take some of the fruit and break it down. So that I would get the seeds out of it. No, I'd need to set up like nutrients and everything in order to make that work. Because realistically, I would want the productivity bonus in order to guarantee I'm getting seeds. Can't we set up an interrupt that is if this station calls, then go to a different station, and that station would be the seeds? I guess you could create an interrupt specifically for the seed station. Well, then you would be creating specific interrupts for fruit, though. You would literally be creating it would no longer be cargo agnostic. Well, it sort of would be, in that it would check if it could do a fruit job first, for example, and then check any other use. You could make that happen. It's not as good in my opinion, though. Could you set it to deliver seeds as the interrupt and then pick up fruit while you're there? That's not a bad suggestion. Well, no, because right now the push-pull is coming from the fact we need fruit. So this is requesting fruit, so a train goes to pick up the fruit and then brings it back. It would be possible to do what you're suggesting, but again, it would start to branch into the same problem that the same reason why I don't want to specifically go, like, if I need to go to a fruit station, go pick up seeds first and make a separate fruit interrupt. I feel it just wouldn't be a very elegant solution, and it would invalidate a lot of the benefit of having an interrupt system to manage all of that. There we go. All done. Right. Plenty of landfill being made. Still need a bunch over here. Right now the landfill is being given to the train as a priority. Oh, this is brave. Or stupid. Both. It's definitely brave and stupid. Let's go and just fill in the landfill right at the top. Hopefully that will then result in the final bits of the puzzle being put together. And we can stop worrying about this. We are going to remove you. Is there anything else need to be removed? No. Just this one last one. It's got 3,300 stone is available. And once that's gone, that mine is complete. Let's try and get everything built. There we go. And there we are. Batteries are back online. Glorious. Gun turrets. Everything is where it needs to be. Okay. Only a bajillion landfill to go. Yeah. We've got a lot of landfill to go down over here. I mean, I could help them, but I'd rather leave that to the supply trains. I don't know if there's that bot going. Oh, right, okay. Oh, I've already got these set up to insert bots. Let me get rid of that. We'll leave that to this system. Right then, chat. What we have left to do is I want to add more mines down here. Oh, yeah, we definitely need to because we have emptied out these resources a little bit too fast. There we go. That entire branch is gone now. That branch is done. Obviously keeping this one so that there's power. But yeah, we are going to need to head on down and set out a bunch of more mines. So to that end, can I go ahead and do some of that? I should be able to, yes. I'm gonna try and build a bunch of green circuits, so let's just hoover these up for a bit. There we go. That'll do. Honestly, then it's just the gears. Right. I'm gonna let production of gears do its thing. Have a look at the spore clouds. Not terribly bad. This one is being visited far less frequently than this one. I think we'll watch. What would you like to watch, chat, for the tea break? We can watch the central part of the factory. We can watch the train hub. We can watch one of the farms, or we can watch the Pridwen traveling to and fro. How difficult would it be to expand each train to 2 cars, but one is just for seeds, since they don't spoil, and only the stations that deal with loading or unloading seeds would have the extra space? Yeah, it would be quite awkward. You'd like to follow a train? Sure. And since the trains are given different jobs, we'll be all over the place. Alright then, chat. For the next 5 to 10 minutes while I'm preparing myself a drink, stretching my legs, etc., you can follow a choo-choo. I hope you enjoy.